Brought to you by PlayStation Store. Access to the ultimate in games and entertainment.
Hello and welcome to The Lobby, GameSpot's weekly hangout every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific right here at GameSpot.com's headquarters in San Francisco, which has been overrun by filthy, disgusting game developer people. Look at the mother just creeping around. Oh, we got a couple on our couch. What's going on? My God. Armin, my good friend,
Nice
Coffee Stain Studios, developers of... Are you not wearing a Goat Simulator shirt today?
This is the Westport Independent.
Oh.
New game that we're working on.
Oh, fantastic. We'll talk to you about that in a second. And Mike Bithell, another European game developer.
We're taking over.
I know. Creator of Thomas Was Alone, and of course Volume, which we'll be seeing later this year. Maybe. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Oh, you need to put your mics on apparently. Yeah, we didn't know. Yeah, see.
Hey guys, you want to
Professionals.
Put the mics on? Here we go. There's one. You've got one right behind your back.
We'll add subtitles in post. Don't worry about it.
This thing's like a pre-record, right?
Yeah. It's in live. No.
Oh yeah.
You'd be surprised how often we redo segments for a live show. Actually,
Seriously,
it's ridiculous.
What?
Awesome. And Chris Waters is back.
Hello.
You're not covered in swine flu anymore, or whatever it was.
I went to upstate New York in February. Guess what happens there? You get the flu and it's terrible.
Excellent.
But I'm great now.
Are you heading back east for PAX at the end of the week?
No, I'm not.
Neither am I. Are either of you guys? Since you're in the country?
I'm going just for one day. Just to kind of duck in quickly and
like
go,
a stopgap.
Hey, Boston. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You guys come over for GDC all the time. Chris, you were talking to me earlier about like the sort of what is the impetus for people to come to GDC? Because as far as like the folks who come to GameSpot are concerned, it's kind of like a light news show, but obviously while you're here, like that's surely not why these gentlemen are here.
Yeah, I mean, like we as press, it's only been in recent years that there's really been a burgeoning sort of scene of demos and people showing off their games at GDC. In the past, it's been sort of like it is for game developers. We are not game developers. Like what we can get out of it is only sort of tangential, but I'm curious to know, like, what do you guys get out of it? I mean, obviously now showing your game is one of the impetuses for coming, but like, do you sort of line up like things you want to hear about, people you want to hear talk? Like, is this a resource for you professionally? Are you networking? Sort of like, what's the whole? Are you just like getting drunk and going to parties?
It's the drinking, isn't it? Yeah, it's primarily drinking.
Like, why do you come to GDC?
It's kind of a thing where we're supposed to be here to show off Goat Simulator on Xbox and our new game that we're publishing. But there's a lot of drinking and a lot of partying.
There you go. Put your mic on. Nice and good. Yeah,
that's nice. That's
so obviously you guys are shopping around your games.
Sure.
Is there any like talks you've been to at all? Is there any like you look down through the like list of panels and go, you know what? Actually, I need to see that because some of the most interesting stuff I've seen at GDC have been just panels of people that I've had an hour to spare and I've gone in.
Yeah, so I mean that's generally how I do it. I don't plan out too much because frankly, like my schedule is just like packed with the stuff I'm here to do, like work-wise. Like it's kind of I have to go and do this press thing, or I have to go and meet this person and talk about this platform, whatever. But yeah, for me, like the nice bit is, I've got half an hour. That's exciting. I'll like run excitedly and find the first thing I can. But yeah, they're cool. The only talk I've been to so far is one that I was on.
Oh, really?
And that was middling.
Was it all right?
Middling. I was okay. I was a little rushed. My slides didn't work.
Oh, really?
So I got to spend like half an hour basically apologizing.
Well, apparently John Carmack's talk, which is on tomorrow, I think maybe tomorrow, he's got like a 2.5 hour presentation, and then today he decided he wasn't actually going to use slides. So it's just going to be John Carmack talking for 2.5 hours.
But of all the people to listen to for 2.5 hours, like,
apparently they put him just before lunchtime so they could run over, because they reckon he's not going to stay within a slot as well. Have you seen any talks in previous years that you were interested, that you like still remember to this day?
I'm trying to think the ones that are really inspiring, but I'm drawing a blank. How about you?
There's so much cool talks to go to, but I have a problem like sitting down for an hour.
Right.
I usually when I'm at home I play a game and I watch something on TV, and I sometimes have my cell phone up too, so I can watch Twitter. And I can sit for like 5 or 10 minutes, but then I'm like,
too much.
Got to do something.
Yeah.
So you guys are both based in Europe. You're still based in London, Mike?
That's right.
You're based in mainland. You're in Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of remote in your own way. Like I'm sure there's a Swedish development community. There's obviously a lot going on in London.
We're remote from America,
Yeah.
Daddy. You've changed. you used to think that the UK was all right. Now
I used
we're
to be
remote.
a country Irish boy
You
with
changed,
my own.
man.
Yeah,
You
well,
changed.
the Waterford Games development community was never that hot. What's it like then? Like, is there an element of this where you're meeting up with people who you've talked to a lot, like online or collaborative?
Oh, massively.
collaborative?
Like that's the best part of it. It's just like, yeah, especially like, I spend a bit of time on Twitter. So I've got a load of mates who are, online friends. And yeah, it's just nice to actually be able to see them like 2 or 3 times a year. Like we see each other at this, Gamescom.
And then it's enough.
That's enough for me, yeah. Like there's people who I want to
You
see
can
more
go
than that,
home
but most of them, it's like, you get through the week. I'm sure they feel the same way about me, and you're like, yeah, okay, you can go back to where you live, and I'll go back to where I live, and we'll see each other again soon. I don't mean that, but yeah, no, it's lovely. It's cool seeing those old friends and those old faces and catching up and playing each other's games, and going to the bar. And
Is it
having some
mostly
drinks.
social, or do you feel like you're sort of getting, like, even if it's not like sitting down, going to a talk and like learning about something specific, do you think you're like gaining experience from what other people are creating?
Oh yeah, well, I think everyone comes together and shares, and I think the stuff that's really useful is I think a lot of people say this is it's not so much always the talks, but it's the conversation you have outside a pub at 3 o'clock in the morning with with maybe a developer who's a bit more experienced than you, or someone who's released a game on a platform you're thinking of doing, and they're like, right, these are the 5 things you need to make sure you do this way. And it's like, that's the value, like that genuinely, that 20-minute conversation with someone far cleverer than me was worth the flight. Like that set me up. And I've already had like 3 of those conversations in like 2 days, so I'm feeling very good about the trip.
You guys were both at the Mix last night, just down the road at the IGN buildings. What was that like? Have you been to a couple of them at this stage?
No, that was my
first one.
Yeah, it was cool.
Does the indie scene like seem different to you than what it did like 2 or 3 years ago? Because I was kind of, there was a time, I guess, where like a lot of those games you kind of had, they looked small. They looked like, oh, this is being made by a small team. But there were so many games last night there, and also on the GameSpot stream we had yesterday, that just didn't look like what my silly non-developer mind would say indie game.
Yeah, like definitely like a couple of years ago, we didn't have as many like high quality indie games, like especially now with Unity and Unreal Engine. You see a lot of really cool stuff just made by indie developers.
I think as well it's a generational thing, and like it's the computers, so the generations are like weekly. But like the thing, I think what you're seeing there at an event like the Mix, and it was fun walking around, is you're seeing like the girl working in her spare time, like 2 hours a week, kind of just making something in her bedroom, and then next to them you're seeing the person who brought out a game 3 years ago that did really well, and they've put all the money into this thing, and hopefully it'll sell, otherwise they're in trouble, kind of thing. And then everyone in between, and that's the indie as a term is starting to stretch because so many indies have actually had some kind of financial success, and the budget allows them to bring in more collaborators, and you get bigger projects. So I think that's exciting. It almost feels like we're rebuilding a new game industry. As like our little bubble is kind of expanding, and it's kind of taking in different people and doing different things.
But it seems like the other one is contracting sometimes as well. Like Chris, we think of some of the AAA games that we cover, or there's a reason why they just say AAA now and then indie, because that whole middle section seems to be just kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, entire sort of middle-of-the-road publishers that like make a big game and have a sizable budget, but that has proven to be not like the most financially viable over the past years, and that's definitely changed the scene. It's interesting to hear you talk about sort of the progression of the indie development scene at GDC. I imagine you guys now, if you're a couple years ago, you're sort of looking to network, but now are you having people like seek you out as like the guys who have like, these guys have shipped successful games, like,
cool.
hey, can you give me this tip or that?
Like, I'm never going to get bored of someone I don't know walking up to me and asking me to fist bump with them. Like, that's amazing. Like, it probably will last about 6 more months, and then will never happen again, by volume. But it's kind of it's a weird thing. That cycle happens, and it's fun watching that happen. I guess it's hard to kind of tell when you're at the epicenter of it, but I love watching it happen to other people. So I love like when you'll know some guy that you had breakfast with 2 years ago, and they were talking to you about their weird idea, and then you're like you meet them at an event like this, and it's like, oh, you're now the guy who made that game. It's taken over and everyone's obsessed with. And it's like, I remember when I bought you some pancakes because you left your wallet at home. It's like, that's amazing.
I remember when we had a burger in the Lord Nelson in London around the corner from work, chatting about, or like
that was how long ago was that?
Alexander, when we did like a Skype interview for that video I made, and now dudes like Antichamber, a game we worked on for like 2 decades, has ended up like being really successful.
And it happens, it's great.
Do you think, just you touched on a point, just the last point with this, you touched on something about the technology. You're using Unity 5, right, on volume?
I am using Unity 5. I'm using a beta of Unity 5.
Okay, so is that like do you think like the progression of stuff like Unity has really helped like enable developers who might not have otherwise had the tools to do it, to like make bigger and better games?
I think the engines are great because what the engines have done is they've basically geographically moved the talent to. This is such an old trailer, by the way. This is definitely not Unity 5.
This is a release trailer.
This is barely Unity 4. But so I think what's happened is the talent is all these amazing programmers and engineers that make games work, like literally make the engines they run, have all gone to these big companies like Unity, like Unreal, and their genius is then being distributed in a way that allows all of us idiots to make stuff and just jump enormous hurdles. Like I've worked in games now for about 8 years, and I remember the example I always use is my first job for like 6 months was making nav meshes. Nav meshes, it's boring, but it's basically the way in which
it's the worst.
It's basic. Trying to think how to say it. Basically, when an enemy runs around a level, it's the data that tells that enemy where they can and can't go.
Right.
And that was my first job, and I was quite fast, so I could do a room in a day, and it took it was a very laborious job. That's now in Unity. That's I think a 0.27 millisecond process. So you can press a button and it just does it.
That was my first job too.
Was that your first job too?
If you heard of the game Sanctum, that was like the Coffee Stain's first game before the game with the goat in it. That was like my first. I had a summer job and I was supposed to like do the nav mesh and shit. It's like
it's horrible work.
It's kind of like picking weeds when you're.
It's 15, like one step down from placing crates in the first-person shooter. It's like the next run down.
It's like the manual labor of the gaming industry,
which now doesn't exist.
And today, like in Unreal Engine 4, you just press a button and it's done. And but that's also like you're like.
We actually do it we do it in volume. We do it at runtime. So when you're editing levels in the game, you press a button and it just automatically makes a nav mesh, and it's like. Oh my goodness! But obviously, I'm quite glad I got my first job because it led to the new ones. But it's so exciting, and it's such a great opportunity for people starting to make games now. I imagine, I'm sure that when I started 8 years ago, there were people who started 16 years ago, like, oh my god, that guy doesn't know he's born. Look at how quick he can make a nav mesh. I used to have to type those numbers in by hand.
So what's the new nav mesh? What's the new
problem?
It just robots are taking all the young developer jobs now?
I think the next one that I'd love to see someone like Unity really tackle, Unity or Unreal, is AI. AI is the thing that I think is a stumbling block. There's a reason that a lot of indie games either are a character moving around a space with no enemies, or kind of or enemies that are very kind of straightforward logically, and it's because AI is really hard. Getting AI that's fun is hard. Making an AI that's efficient is actually very easy. It's making it inefficient in a way that's entertaining.
Right.
So I think that's a challenge I'd love to see the engines take on, because I think if you can come up with some kind of centralized, and there's a few things that they're playing with, but kind of some kind of centralized AI solution, that's going to lead to such a big jump in what we can do.
Excellent.
For me, it would be like if you'd have a bot that would just all the people that ask you when the Xbox port is coming, or when the Android port is like, why is it crashing? Like some bot that tells people just to like shut up.
You're talking, but all I hear is wow, wow, wow. My game's really successful. Like it's hard to feel sorry for you, to be honest.
Well, you guys solved the AI problem with Goat Simulator by just not having AI.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Fucking people that just fall over when you hit them. Yeah, perfect. Stick around, guys. Thank you so much for talking to us about all that. But since you're here and since there's actual video game news happening here at GDC as well, we decided to stick around and we'll have you guys talk about some stuff that's broken today. We'll be back in a second when we're talking about Metal Gear Solid 5's release date. Thanks for that, IGN, by the way. We'll be back in a second. There's a trailer for White Knight in the meantime.
I was lost. My mind didn't belong to me anymore. Trapped in the tumult of the accident. Where am I?
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, that's coming out this year. We didn't know when it was going to come out, and then some Italian-ass video on IGN popped up this morning for a little bit. Somebody on GAF spotted it, as they always tend to do, and now we know, apparently, September 1st is when Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Chris is nodding his head, because you don't like Metal Gear Solid,
Nah, it's so overrated. I don't know. People get so excited about it, I'm so not into it. I don't know. Yeah, you better distance yourself from it.
Armin
People
is
are
also,
super...
Yeah, you're not a Metal Gear Solid fan either, right?
No, I haven't played it. Like I wanted a PlayStation when I was a kid, and my parents told me to shut up and go outside and play. So
I feel like me and Danny should just have a chat about this.
They're like, just go outside and play with the goats. Mike, I'm going to take a guess based on what volume looks like that perhaps you're a fan of Metal Gear Solid.
I've never played. No, I
VR
love,
missions.
Yeah, there is a slight visual similarity.
Yeah,
it's been pointed out to me every kind of 10 minutes on Twitter. It's fun. Yeah, no, it's
and in real life now.
And in real life, you've taken it. Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm excited. Obviously, I'm a big Metal Gear fan. And what was it, 1st of September? So I can exclusively confirm that Volume will not be out in September 2015. That's a month that we'll be avoiding.
Is that something you think, like, because with the sort of the scale and the different markets that people are buying games now, is that still something that you try and stay away from a big release like that?
There's lots of schools of thought. So Thomas Was Alone, for example, came out the same day as Call of Duty.
Right.
So there's this thing. It's with TV scheduling, like they will
counter-programming.
Counter-programming, exactly. Yes. So if there's a big sports game on, you'll put on a romantic comedy because you figure the audiences are different. You're giving something for each audience. But yeah, so with like any other franchise, I would probably be like, yeah, they're cool, they're different audience, it's cool. But no, I'm trying to launch a stealth franchise. I'm going to do it on a different day to Mr. Hideo Kojima's game.
Do you go beforehand, and how many weeks do you give for? But do you give the month clearance afterwards because it's supposed to be this massive, sprawling open world?
The answer to your game is I check the bug list when I get home from this.
Right, and
find out. But yeah, so it's cool. I'm super excited. Metal Gear, it'll be. I'll take a weekend off and work my way through. Well, I don't know how big it is. It looks massive, so it might be more than a weekend.
Did you play much Ground Zeroes at all? Because I know Danny, you were super into that one.
I really like Ground Zeroes. Like I like those games to replay levels. So like it was completely perfectly down my alley. Like I used to love playing games like Project IGI and like doing the same level over and over. I know, right? Project I'm going in. Or like Rainbow Six. Like I'd play like Robespierre levels over and over again.
And that's how it feels. And that's what's interesting about it is it has gone into this kind of more kind of generalist, like smart, like it's not just stealth anymore. It's this kind of like SAS simulator kind of thing. You're using the weaponry and you're using the environment tactically. It's cool. It's fun. I did for a rival outlet. I did a really interesting interview where it was me and one of the designers from that game, from both of the new Metal Gears. And just hearing how he talked about it and what their goals were was just fascinating. Like the scale of interaction possibilities. And to be fair, like Ground Zeroes, you could see it in there. That was you could tackle that a host of different ways. And I don't think it was an accident that it was so short that people had to replay it, because I think through the replay you realize, oh, actually I could have done all these different things. So I'm excited to see that in a big game context.
Especially with all the extra cardboard boxes with ladies painted on them that they're bringing into Phantom Pain. I mean, it's just what was really lacking from ground zero.
I do remember, yeah. I remember because I was on stage at Gamescom for Sony, and I watched the box trailer about 20 times in one day, because obviously you're looping through in the rehearsals and stuff.
I was just glad they didn't do like a whole presentation where all they did was play those fucked up tapes from Ground Zeroes over and over and over again. I don't know. Some of that, as much as I love that series, there are some little things in there that make me feel a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
But there you go. September 1st is when Volume will not be coming out. Exclusive here on GameSpot.com. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the show today. We're going to mix it up. We've got a bunch of the developers hanging out here. Alexander Bruce and Brad Muir are going to come on next. But before we send you on your merry ways, please tell us about your video games. Volume, what's coming out on? When?
Volume is out at another date of September the 1st for PlayStation 4 and Vita first, and then a month later we take it to PC and Mac. And yeah, we're getting really close now, and it feels good. I'm happy. I'm excited.
Excellent. You, sir?
Yeah, we're working on releasing Goat Simulator on Xbox.
It's the most ridiculous sentence I've ever heard in my life.
So hopefully, people asking when it's going to be out. I don't know, like when it stops crashing, it's going to be out. Hopefully this spring will be great. But if I tell people a date and we have to push it forth, they're going to burn down my house. So we'll probably tell you guys later in a couple of weeks. Maybe.
Is it going to have the MMO stuff in it and all that? Or?
Probably not at the start, but maybe in the future.
Excellent.
Right now, we're just trying to we're just trying to get it to run right now.
And you're also publishing a game about ethics in journalism. Tell me about that bad boy.
So we're publishing a game called The Westport Independent, which is a game where you run a newspaper in a totalitarian state. So it's kind of a censorship simulator. And it has nothing to do with what you think it has to do with.
Talk yesterday's headlines.
Actually, when we announced it, I had like a lot of eggs on Twitter that were telling me like, it's really good that you're making this
Finally, someone's addressing these issues.
And no, it's been in the works. There's like actually two guys in Sweden that's been working with it for years now. So no, it's coming close to release.
Excellent.
Sometime this year.
Wonderful. Looks super interesting. I saw you guys playing on the mix last night. Looking forward to seeing more of that. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of GDC. I'm sure we'll bump into each other outside some pub at 3 in the morning, as it tends to happen. We'll be back in a second. We're going to talk about some of the best games at GDC and virtual reality and a bunch more. First of all, here is a trailer for Trine 3. It done made another one. Let's check it out.
Heroes, I won't be around for much longer.
At last, there will be fish stew for dinner.
Hello, welcome back to the lobby. We're here with some other fantastically beautiful and handsome developers. Mr. Alexander Bruce, creator of Antichamber. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm excellent.
And Brad Muir, of course.
Hey!
Massive chalice.
Great to be back.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You guys enjoying GDC?
Yeah, it's an enjoyable thing, man.
Every time. Always. Especially for you. This guy had to travel halfway across the world to get here. You just walked down the road.
Walked a couple blocks.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Just have it. How was the mix last night? You were at that showing off some massive chalice.
Yeah. It was super cool. I'd never been to it before. It was like some indie dudes put it on, and they borrow the IGN office, and like they just rip up the whole IGN floor and just put all these like indie stations up, and it's got an indie vibe to it too. It's like everybody's walking around.
What's
it feels
that
like
mean?
a frat.
Free fruit?
It feels like a frat party.
Okay.
I guess there's kegs everywhere, and everybody's walking around with beer, and it's just like. It's like a frat party with video games.
I'd never used a beer keg before, so we just have pints and I just pour them like that.
That's not a thing.
I instructed no fewer than 3 people how to use a keg.
Oh,
at that
wait,
event.
what?
Did they all have British or Irish accents?
I did. That's hilarious because I actually went over to get. I think it was beer number 2 because I was being responsible, and I hit the lever. Is it a lever?
Sure.
I hit the lever, and just foam. Just foam. It felt like there was, an 18-year-old showing their game or something there, and they had just really gone to town on that thing, and it was absurd.
I had you both on to talk about games that you saw at GDC 2015 because every time I go to an event, Alexander has played everything, and then I can just ask him what the fuck I should play.
That's good. I'm going to learn something sitting here because
No, you're not, because he hasn't played anything yet.
Normally I do that because when you meet me at events like PAX and stuff, I've helped judge for the Mega Booth and pick different things out. I did none of that for GDC this year.
Okay.
And so now I'm here and I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to discover everything the same as everyone else. I'm looking for the other Alexander Bruce that can just tell me what to play.
Well, I was thinking maybe it might be Brad because you were at the mix last night.
I know, yeah.
All you were doing was trying to crank beer and play massive chalice.
That's all I wanted to do. I mean, I really enjoy like showing the game. It felt like a 4-hour slice of PAX or something where you're just like, your booth is like one monitor and you're just like kind of tied to it and you're trying to get people to play it and talk to them about it while they're playing it and stuff. Give them this sort of like elevator pitch over and over, or whatever. You're just hanging out, showing video games, man. But all I wanted to do was just like walk around, just like do, and some of the other guys on the team were there, so it was nice that I could like let them kind of show it off, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a lap and like see what is going on. I played this game called Hue.
Oh, I've heard about this, but I actually missed that last night.
This is a really stupid story. There was a guy that came up to check out Master Chalice. He was like, oh yeah, whatever. And then he's like, oh, you gotta see Hugh. You gotta see Hugh. I was like, oh, I've never met Hugh. And he was like, oh yeah, Hugh's right over there. Okay, cool. So I like go over there and I'm like, hey, this guy told me I should meet Hugh. And they're like, oh, it's right here. And they like show me a screen. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? And they're like, oh, it's a video game. It's HUE.
Oh, right, like
the
color.
I got it, and okay. But
how was Hue?
It was a cool little like indie platformer where you use the right stick to change the background color.
All right.
And then based on what color the background is, certain objects will be like they'll disappear because they're like that exact color, and they just like go away, and then it's you just use that to solve puzzles. A little puzzler.
Nice
it's
work.
Cool. So I got to play that. I think that's about.
That's about it.
That's about all I got to play, which is sort of sad.
Nice. Well, we'll just talk to Alexander for the next while then.
There is one game that I will pimp, and it's not based on having played it recently. I last played this a couple of years ago, and it was awesome at the time, and now it's one of the IGF games. It's called Memory of a Broken Dimension.
Okay.
I can't really describe what the hell's going on. It's a first-person game with the most crazy, abstract, obscured visual style I've ever seen.
Sort of down your route.
Absolutely down my route.
Is that the one that's like super staticky? That's sort of the experimental gameplay, and you like sort of line up the perspective in first person, and then it like snaps, and then there's like a ramp, and you're like, what is? The guy showed it, and it was like, it was so dark when he showed it on the screen. They had to like dim the lights down, and you're like, what? It just looks like you're seeing a bunch of dots as he's like, it was super weird. But that's so great that he like has taken that game all the way to completion. That's fantastic.
So like some of the things, it's like, I think he used to be like a real hacking background. Right. This one. Try to tell me what the fuck is going on in this game.
Yeah, like that's the game.
Hey,
that's
this
the game.
Is messed up, man.
And he was showing it, and you're like, that just looks busted.
No, this is the game,
like, that's busted. But
this is the game, and it's awesome. It's like trying to work out what the hell is going on.
So are you moving around like first-person style, like Wasad with a mouse, and trying to like just find some sort of clarity, or?
Yeah, and then you've also got like, I don't know if this is still in there, but it used to be like hacking mechanisms where you're like contacting off radio signals and you're just like at a command line trying to work out how the fuck anything in the game works. It's right up my alley. I love it.
Excellent.
It makes me feel weird.
One of the things, one of the sort of, we're always looking for themes in GDC and all these different years, and I guess we haven't seen all of it just yet, but virtual reality has been like the sort of the drum that's been getting louder and louder as people have been banging it for the past couple of years. This is a year that like we're seeing the HTC stuff with Valve. There's a bunch of other companies getting involved in it, obviously Morpheus and Oculus. Alexander, as somebody who's made like a first-person game about sending people into like bizarre, like unnatural spaces, what do you think about the revolution in virtual reality? Are you a believer, or do you think there's a lot of work to be done?
People would think that I would be a believer. Like, I walked in here and Brad was like,
I was like, you must love this stuff. You must love it. You're like the target market. Like, whoa. And then he told me this.
I'm like, no, I'm like the hardest sell ever. You know, it's like, everyone is like, oh my God, this is the future now. And I'm like, these are all of the issues in it. You know, yes, it's the future in like 10 years. And they're like, oh, but can't you see? And I'm like, no, yes, I can see all of the issues that you're not talking about, you know. I desperately want it to be cool. Yeah. But every time I put it on, I'm just like, oh my God.
What type of stuff stands out to you as like, that just breaks your immersion or makes it feel like it's not working?
Everything. Okay. Like, so many things. So like, you get things like, you know, there was all of this talk about presence and like, you know, people, you actually feel like you're there, and you know, you've got a demo where there's this ledge and you're in this room, and some people, they get vertigo, you know, and I look at that and the first thing I do is I take a step forwards and I'm like, well, I'm just floating in the air, like, immersion gone, you know, and then you get another one, it's like, here we've realistically rendered the current room that you're in. So I go to reach for a door handle, I'm like, well, I have no hands. Like, why did you show me this thing? Like, every time someone tries to say, this is reality, I'm like, these are all of the reasons that it's not.
So will they fix it by like making, you know, things that sense your hands, or like what Valve's doing with the...
No, because this is a deep rabbit hole of issues. You know, once you fix one issue, it just reveals all of the other issues. And this is the uncanny valley problem that we had with graphics for ages. You know, look at this screenshot of the most realistic face you've ever seen, and then the moment you see it animated, it's like, that looks like shit. You know, that's a robot. You know, it just instantly breaks.
It's like Agent Smith in the Matrix 2.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, in that one, you like we've kind of climbed out of it, sort of, but even at the peak of it, it's like, yeah, it still just looks like a fake person.
Like, all you need is one eyeball not to work right.
Yeah, it's like, it still doesn't, I'm still not fully buying that.
So here, for example, with like the interaction stuff, you know, people will be like, oh, but it'll track your hands and it'll be all one-to-one. And if I get something where it's like, here's a cup, and I go to grab that cup and I do this, my character in the game will be holding this cup, and I'm sitting here like this. Yeah. And my brain is just going to be like, wait, that doesn't map one-to-one. Like, all sense of immersion is instantly gone.
Yeah, because there's no feedback or...
And there's no like tactile haptic feedback,
So what's the solution to that then? Is it, can you never create a system that's replicating the real world?
Laser tag. It's going to be destination gaming. You know, we're going to take a warehouse and everybody puts a headset on and you get a gun and you run around and shoot each other. That's the only thing that virtual reality is going to do. That's it. $2 million.
Destination gaming is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Right now, a bunch of people who are like, you know, people are genuinely excited about this, and that's great. It means you'll get lots of content. There's lots of people that are working on solving a bunch of these things. Some people like to just excuse these things and be like, oh, but it'll be cool in 5 years. And I'm like, cool, so I'll come back in 5 years. It's not cool to me now because of these issues. If you want me to be excited about it now, then I need to see games that are like, this is virtual unreality. These are all of the reasons why we know it's not going to map to being a realistic simulation. So we've specifically built something that breaks your brain away from that. Like, you know, Brad was talking, you know, it's not even like necessarily the best example. It's just a nice example of the game where you're a dolphin in a classroom and you're locked in a chair.
I wish I knew the name of this game. But yeah, you're a dolphin in a classroom and you're taking a test and you don't know any of the answers because like you're not really a dolphin, you're pretending to be a dolphin. And so the whole game is like you can't get up from your chair and you need to try to like look over at the other dolphins that are like taking the test. You need to like, but then you can't like let the teacher see you like looking at somebody else's work. And so it's like a cheating in the classroom simulator, but like they couch it in this ridiculous thing where like you're a fucking dolphin and like that's just like it's just totally absurd and like yeah, Alexander understand. Well, you don't have hands. Well, who cares? It's like
you're not a dolphin. You're not a dolphin. You can't like put your head through something.
Yeah, so it's like the games that really like embrace those limitations and constraints, I think are going to be the ones that really stand out in this generation. I mean, once you get to the, you know, what is this thing called? The Vive? Is that what you call it?
Oh yeah, the Valve
whatever.
thing. Yeah.
Just like all these first generation like consumer-facing things are probably going to be kind of janky. Yeah. Why are you laughing?
It's the Vive or whatever.
The Vive or whatever.
The Vive, we can all agree, is a real fucking stupid name, right?
You know, I thought the Vita was kind of a bad name, but
Yeah.
now it's
A
just
lot
normal.
of people thought
The
that was
Wii
a bad
U.
name.
Now it's just
Yep.
like normal.
the Wii
The
U.
Wii U is still a
Yeah.
terrible name. That's still bad. That hasn't come around.
Xbox. Ugh.
Well, the virtual reality game I played at the Mix last night actually was a 2-player game, and I think we've talked about it before on the show, but one person had the headset on, and the other person had a binder.
Is this keep talking and nobody explodes?
Right.
That's a good
So
example.
good.
That's the one.
Yep.
That's a good
That's
example
great
because it's embracing the isolation that you've got with this headset. you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
it's like
and you wouldn't want to get up and walk around and explore this world. I think that's the thing that is very difficult for all these, is that it's like virtual reality. We're gonna put you into this world and you're gonna explore it. It's like, well, how the hell am I gonna do that? Like by mouse looking and WASDing around it while I do this? Like it's just, I just don't know. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of a naysayer on this whole virtual reality thing too. This guy, it's this guy. I just pick up on his negative vibes. You know,
He's got some good points, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
It
it's
feels
not
like
that cool.
when you frame it like that, it does feel like some of the times we're almost like willing it. We're like we
Yes.
want it to
Yeah.
work
Yes.
so bad that we're just like, yeah, it's all right. Like I know Alien Isolation was kind of like I was like poking around corners and forgetting where the keyboard was and all that shit. But I was like, yeah, it's fine if we all just like hold our hands together and chant along.
and
It'll be okay.
I think
It'll
that's
work.
one of the things that like I don't. It will probably catch on, and it's probably going to be the biggest thing, and I'll look like a big idiot and stuff, and that's cool. Wouldn't be the first time. But the people that are like showing it off, I feel like it's really hard for it to catch on because you're like, here, Alexander, put on this headset. And I'm so excited to show you this thing and share it with you. And he puts the headset on, and then he's just like, he's just doing, the Oculus face thing. He's doing that. And then me, and then let's say you come in too, and we're all like looking at it, and we're all like, what are you seeing now, Alexander? What are you seeing? What's going? Describe it. Yeah. What are you? And we're all just looking at you like
But
you look like
sometimes
an idiot.
TVs let you see what they see.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they will like put that. Have you seen this
dual
where they like
vision.
mirror
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing?
the
weird
And you
bug eye
see it, and it's
display
just
that's
the
the
two like orbs with a thing like the video thing wrapped around it. And it looks just like that, and you're like, what the hell is that? Like so it's basically like watching somebody just play a video game on TV. You can walk into the room, you know what's happening. It's like it's kind of a shared experience and stuff. But like coming to the room and having somebody with like the virtual reality headset on, you're just like, I don't know what they're doing. What are they doing? What is happening? I feel so disconnected from the person that's like in the virtual reality thing that I'm just like, until it gets to the point where it's like so cheap that I can be like, what's happening? Let me put mine on, and now we're in there together. We're exploring a virtual world together now. We're like, and it's like, yay, everybody in the room has one, and it's like we can all kind of do it together. But then it's like, why don't we all just like hang out? Why don't we all just like drink a beer? That's like, that's like put your fucking phone down. Everyone put your phone down. We're like having dinner.
Great.
It's like
The future of virtual reality is just having orgies and going to the pub. Great. Well, let us know what you think about the future of virtual reality in the comment box below, everyone. All right, I want to keep this going. Actually, I just wanted to cut that off for the VOD. Let's keep.
Okay, so one example.
we're kind of slamming virtual reality, but it's going to take over and it's going to be huge.
Virtual reality will be a big thing, no doubt. This isn't to say, it's shit technology, it won't go anywhere. Absolutely, it will go somewhere. All I'm saying is that I have a bunch of issues with it now.
Yeah.
And in 5 or 10 years, I will think it's an amazing thing, given all of that development.
Well,
but
so few people are coming out and being like, okay, look, this isn't the super immersive thing that you want, but it's cool in these small ways. Like, just pay attention to these small assets, these small parts of it that we're getting right. Suspend your disbelief. You're not going to have any feet. It's okay. Just look up and imagine you're looking at a strange night sky with 2 moons in it.
This is the worst, but like also, I mean, it's understandable why they're not doing that, because that's the worst way to sell something.
It's terrible. It's the worst way to. You don't want to come in and be like,
way to be like,
prepare to be whelmed.
Caveat. I guess it's fine. Put this on your face. No, you got to be like, oh my God, you're gonna explore virtual worlds, right?
one example of something that I was like, yeah, I can see how that's like solving a problem. Would be like a virtual OS, So rather than having my one screen or having to buy like fucking 10 screens and spend thousands of dollars, I can put on my headset while I'm programming. I can have programming stuff here. I can have my game over there. I can have like other shit over here. So then it's like, it's a good working environment that would be way too expensive for me to actually have, in the real world. Like, it's solving a problem. I don't care that I don't have like hands and stuff because I'm just using it as a really good headset, And it's like when I tested the Valve stuff like a year ago, I was like, there's no doubt in my mind that this is the best headset technology I've ever used.
Oh, really? Yeah.
All it did was highlight the other issues that I still need to get over.
There you go. Well, we'll find out in 5 years' time. I can't wait
when
to
it's
see
going to
it.
finally be cool and affordable.
We've got to get Dave Lang on in a couple of minutes, but first of all, I just want to have a little chinwag about what are you going to do for. You've been here since last Thursday. Like, why do you come to GDC now? What is it about GDC that like makes you get on the plane from Melbourne?
So I was going to these conferences for several years as someone who was like shilling their game and then talking about their game, which means you just meet thousands of people. And so a conference like GDC is really great at just drawing like 20,000 people from around the world to the same location. So for me, it's just lots of catching up with friends, you know, and you know, maybe showing things off to people privately until I'm then back in that mode where I'm like, all right, let's do all of the business deals that I need to do.
Yeah.
And this year is just not one of them.
Yeah, does a lot of business deals happen? Do they happen at GDC? Like, is it a case where like an indie developer from like a, you know, Saskatchewan is like meeting up with somebody, is that a real place?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Is meeting up with like somebody from Sony because like, oh, we're in the same place at the same time. Like, do a lot of deals get cut?
Yeah, absolutely. The business dev guys, like on both sides, like publishers and developers, their schedules are just like slammed.
Really?
Just like wall to wall, especially on the publisher side, because like they have money and everybody wants money, and the way you get money is like you have a meeting and you talk to people and whatever. So yeah, there's I'm definitely not jealous of those like the biz dev angle during GDC, because you're just like, you're just wall to wall meetings. That's all you're doing is hearing people beg for money. And
what's your
ask for money?
What's your main sort of I guess goal at GDC this year? Because Massive Chalice is a game that's like available, isn't, you know, feature complete. Like,
it's not totally done, but it's close. So I mean, we showed it in the mix, and we don't have it at the expo. We probably should have it at the expo. That would be smart.
You just get people to come to your office.
Yeah, I mean,
like
we're so close. We're so close. If you want to see it, come talk to me. I'm here all week. But I'm giving a talk about it.
Oh, cool.
So that's cool. That's sort of like, it is kind of like a PR thing as well, you know, where you're like, hey, I'm giving a talk about the game. But hopefully there's something in there, like some, you know, little nuggets of wisdom if you're making a similar game. But yeah, it's like focused on the bloodline system and the aging and the marriage and the babies and all that stuff. So
excellent.
If you want to learn about that,
want to learn about making babies with Brad Muir, check it out.
Thursday at 5:30 if you're at the show.
Wonderful. And then your boss is hosting the GDC Choice Awards as well.
Tim is hosting the awards, which that's
every second year.
Yeah, he's definitely on the every other plan, and yeah, he's hosting that thing, and he always writes it. I'm probably outing him by saying this. He is kind of a procrastinator when it comes to stuff. And he always writes stuff like right at the deadline, but it's always amazingly hilarious. So
Simon Carlos was on last week, and I'm not sure if he said it on the show or not, but I think maybe he said it before we went live. But last year, Tim made a Flash game about him not, 2 years ago, made a Flash game about him not writing the script in the time, like a week before he was supposed to be hosting the awards.
It's amazing. There's actually 2 of those. I don't know if there's a third one. That's crazy. There should be.
Yeah.
Like the host master.
Right.
So it's like an adventure game where you're playing Tim Schafer and you're trying to like write the script or find the jokes before you go on stage. It's really stupid. You can I think it's still up there on the website. You can go to doublefine.com. Check it out. Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of silly Flash games like that on there.
Great. There you go. We'll be back in a second. Mr. Dave Lang's waiting in the wings. You're not allowed. Are you wearing sunglasses? No, you're wearing. He spent like 5 days in Napa.
They're transition lenses.
Oh, is that what they are?
Yeah.
We'll get him on in a second. Thanks very much, gents, for coming on.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a second. Here's a trailer for Umbra. Welcome back to the lobby right here at GDC 2015. I'm your host, Danny Dwyer. Chris Waters.
Hey, Danny.
On the other side of the couch.
Oh, yeah.
And look at these fine gentlemen. Brad Muir and the one and only Deal Easy, Dave Lang is here.
One thing has changed since the last intro. Like, Alexander was here.
Yeah.
You described that group as handsome.
Yeah.
He steps out, I step in. The fine gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would
You're
anyone argue with
fine
this?
gentleman. Technically, he's double fine gentleman. So it kind of counts for both of you guys.
Never been madder than I am right now.
That's what happens when you wear an Ole Miss cap onto our show, my
How
friend.
angry he
You
is.
see this?
You can see his face.
Which camera?
Bunny ears, isn't it? No, that one there. You got that one there? Yeah.
Oh, that is vicious.
Oh, man.
no!
Oh, it's serious
Oh,
now.
no!
The transition,
no.
the transition lenses have come
Oh
off.
shit! We got ourselves a thumbnail.
Call me a fine gentleman. Thank you.
Dave Black, how you doing, my friend?
I've never been better.
Welcome to Never Been Better. You spent a couple of days in Napa, I hear.
Please don't ask me to answer long questions right now.
Okay.
Yes, I was in Napa for 3 days. We did 14 wineries in 3 days.
Oh my
All right.
God.
Then we brought wine back to the house because that's smart.
Yep.
And
Oh, man.
yeah, right now my body needs to shut down for repairs.
I've been
Got
enjoying
the clerks in there working overtime. They get their little flesh wrenches out and just fixing me up,
Yeah.
and
flesh wrenches.
That's no, I'm into the flesh wrench. I know. I've been, yeah.
my whole body.
See, look at this. This is footage of the flesh wrench.
That's exactly what it's like.
That's
Right there.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. I just saw it. That guy's got another one.
That's
Holy
interior.
That's Napa Valley.
Legendary.
Land of the flesh
I
wrench.
dare say it was like, it was a big group, 14 people. It was pretty legit.
Excellent.
It was the first inaugural original Napa trip,
Right.
and we're gonna do it
The
again.
first inaugural.
I didn't get invited. I need to become
Did
more
you not?
famous in order to get invited.
Well, that's not actually the limiting factor on why you didn't come.
Was this just a bunch of people who like live in places where it's snowing all year or all winter?
I'm not gonna dignify that with a response.
All right.
Next
It
question.
is pretty cold in Chicago, though,
God
isn't
damn
it?
it. Yeah, how's Chi-Town? How's it going?
sorry.
My wife keeps sending me pictures. Looks like it sucks. Like snow.
That's the worst. So
snow.
she's just hanging out with the kids.
Yeah, she's got 3 screaming kids.
And you're
Everyone's
in Napa.
angry in the
And
house.
you're in Napa.
I'm
You're
just
just
like,
like, you're
goosh.
Just taking selfies with wine glasses
Yeah.
Oh
back
my
there.
God.
Yeah, she's pretty
How does
great.
she put up with it? Well, she puts up with you for starters, but then this
Masochist.
on top of
Masochist.
Yeah, all right. You definitely got to keep
I found the
doing that.
only person on the planet who hates themselves more than I hate myself.
And who hates you more than you hate yourself.
That's why it's like, mwah.
Perfect.
Amazing.
I know this is a show about video games, but you're wearing your
Ostensibly.
Scudera Ferrari jacket. Are you excited about the Formula One season returning in 2 weeks' time?
I'm excited. I don't expect Scuderia to have a great year.
Nope.
First year on the Honda. Don't see that being a breakout. Like, they're going to need a year in the lab to tinker, get it perfect. Why are you laughing?
I only asked this question so I go watch them squirm.
Yeah, they're
I
gonna
went
need
with the full glaze over.
Yeah.
Are these cars?
And no Alonso.
cars.
They're
Yeah.
cars.
No Alonso.
you're talking about?
Alonso's my favorite driver.
They get
So.
into watching the
Well,
cars drive around.
he misses Ferrari. He gets
In
concussions.
circles.
in one of these.
Sorry, the circles are funny shapes. They drive around funny shaped circles, not just a circle.
Not or an
Is
oval.
it too late to start this over without them?
Oh no, we could just. It's the great thing about this is we just
I'm
we
kinda-
just do this. We just go
I'm kind of trapped.
and then I
here.
do an intro and then we just cut that bit out.
Love
This is just for the live crew.
Perfect.
Enjoying this.
Lucky
thing.
them.
Actually, what I do want to talk to you guys about is that some news came out earlier that Mad Max, the video game, which is not associated with either the film or the old film or any sort of Mad Max play or book or anything that is associated with Mad Max, is coming out September 1st, actually, same day as Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero.
Counter programming.
Exactly,
They're
yes.
so different, right? That
open world.
I have not seen this yet. This is great.
So
Video game experts on the couch, having not seen this trailer before.
But they also announced that they've dropped the previous gen version. So they were originally going to make a PS3 and Xbox 360 version of this bad boy as well. I wanted to ask you guys, as gentlemen who are part of making games for consoles and whatnot, at what stage do you sort of look at the numbers and go, you know what, that previous gen is dead, all of our customers on the new stuff, we're not going to put any more resources into working on those consoles
I
anymore?
think it's different for something like Mad Max, where you've got like physical goods you have to buy and inventory and keep. For stuff we're doing, there's none of that. So
Yeah.
if you can keep the dev cost super low, there's no reason not to be, because we don't have COGS, right?
You
So
should
COGS means cost of
absolutely-
goods.
Cost of goods?
Yeah. That's
What's a
that means.
cost of good?
COGS. Just
Well, what
told
is
you
it?
that.
What's a cost
What
of
are the
good?
goods you're referring to
how
here?
much
Like
disc,
the
the
massive
packaging,
open world or the actual
distribution.
physical stuff?
Oh,
the
really?
whole thing
Stuff.
to get the actual
Oh.
disc into the store and sell it,
Yeah.
and then pay those people and all
And then
that
store
stuff.
them and ship them and all
Yeah.
that jazz. It's like, yeah, it doesn't make sense for. There's a point where, probably a long time ago, where it doesn't make sense to do that.
Wow, so that was a genuine, like, even with like the sort of distribution channels presumably being there, like there is still such a large cost with getting stuff into
Yeah, I
stores.
mean, these like, so say like, COGS, every publisher has their own terms for COGS, but just say hypothetically, they're $5, right?
On every game.
Yeah.
Really?
If you make, print 3 million, you have to spend 15 million to do that, right?
Yeah.
And if you're confident you're not going to make that back, then why, So it's a thing.
It's like a bigger risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, with I think like the really big releases and the ones that appeal to the hardcore community, like at this point, I guess we're like 2 years in.
Yeah.
By September, we'll be like 2 years into the life cycle, and that's like most of the people that would give a shit about that kind of game, like a big AAA kind of like thing. They've probably moved on, and if you're going to put it out on the 360 and the Xbox One, it's like most of the people, if they if they're interested in it, they probably have an Xbox One and they'll buy it there.
Not to derail this whole discussion, I just noticed something. This whole couch, pretty strong sock game.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like it.
look at that.
Yeah.
What's on your socks? You got these sweet stripes? I have s'mores on my socks.
Sorry.
Sock game is
Sorry.
All right.
The couch, though. The couch.
Danny's letting us down.
I'm letting the side down here. Sorry.
The sock game is strong.
Nice.
Strong.
These are great.
Yeah.
Well, you're orange.
Vans.
I fucked up. Fucked up. I know it's Vans. So are my pants, so are my shoes.
At least you're on brand.
Dude.
Yeah. I'm still
definitely.
young. I'm still young.
Totally not opposed,
I'll
bro.
do a kickflip right now.
I'm gonna ollie.
Oh wait, you've got a skateboard. My ankle
straight
hurts.
in your heart, miss. That's how they talk, I think.
God damn it! I've got
Nailed it.
gray hair. I have to look young in other ways. Yeah, look at my
All right,
UFC shirt.
Video games.
Video games. I don't know. It's like sometimes you just have to like the cost of development to kind of like scale everything down and get it onto the old hardware and stuff. It's just going to cost a bunch because you're trying to like maximize the current hardware and like blow it out and just really try to make it. Of course, with a game like this, yeah, you're trying to like just make it look as fucking sweet as possible and get bump maps and spec maps and get all this stuff on the dudes and things.
What's the difference between a bump and a spec map?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that.
I knew it. I can tell by the way you said it. The way you're doing this all over your face, like
is
he
the
doesn't know what he's
specularity
saying right now.
and then the
Don't try
bumpiness.
it.
No
the
one
bump
cares.
map
No
is
one
for
cares.
bumpiness. That's how it
there
works.
we go.
Killed it.
Spectre-ness.
We also
Checks
get
out.
games like Shadow of Mordor, right? Which its last gen versions had like less features. I mean, it wasn't just that the world was less beautiful or less dingy, as the case may be. Like the Nemesis system couldn't be as complex on the 360 and PS3 versions. So at that point, like, is it diminishing returns on that last thing? Is it like you're not actually making the game you want to be making? You're making a compromised version of it?
Yeah, you don't want people to have like a significantly crappier experience on the previous gen platform. But there is,
I mean, a limb there, Muir.
Your sound business practices.
Doesn't sit on the fence.
I would prefer the PS3 version to suck.
Yeah, if we can have a significantly crappier version, how much
Somebody
crappier?
screw them.
How much crappier can it be?
Then that's just going to spur them to buy the other one.
That's
They
what
bought
it is.
that
Yeah,
one, boom,
that's
two
what
sales.
it took the Nemesis
my God,
system
so
out
smart.
to get people to buy PS4s.
Do you work at Capcom?
Oh man,
I've been an advisor for many years.
Just a random publisher, everyone.
Sure, yeah. You got no beef with them, creator of fighting games.
Oh, that's independent of that.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, I got beef for days.
Right.
Independent of that. Anyway.
You guys are both developers of games that are released online as well. No, well, do you want to get into it? Do you want to get into
we
it?
got beef for days.
Yeah.
Just like that.
I just
Days
like
of
that.
beef.
I just like that
He's got beef for days
term.
with
I
everyone.
got beef for days.
He's got beef with me. He's beef with me because I didn't go out with him last night. I'm surprised you turned up today, old miss.
I got a really good Ole Miss story, but I can't say it on the camera. I'll tell you after.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Well, it's
Sorry,
Danny, you were gonna
everyone
say
who's
you
watching.
were going to say something interesting.
I'll tweet
You were
about it
gonna say,
later.
You're both very handsome game developers. That's what you're going to say. And here's
Oh,
my
yeah.
question.
And you're both developers of games that were released digitally as well. Was there a sort of time where the numbers were like, okay, there are enough people like comfortable buying games digitally that we can now like release things only this way? Because I guess it's probably more for you, Dave, because like Massive Chalice is on Steam and that's a tried and tested sort of system by this stage.
Yeah.
But like creating an Xbox One game that was digital only, was that ever like a worry or anything?
Well, I figured like the choice we had to make recently was like Dive Kick. Do we bring it to Xbox One and PS4? And that's going to cost ahead of time. You're like, I think we'll sell this many units, and I think it'll cost this much to do it. And you just kind of like make the best educated guess you can.
That's how projections work too. You just go, I think we'll sell this much. Will probably cost this much.
Do you have like?
And if this one is bigger than this one,
And then no matter
you're like, bam, we're doing it. This one.
The weird thing though is
Look at that.
in this business,
The delta,
no matter
right?
how that goes, you lose money somehow.
I know. Yeah,
It's the weirdest thing. It's like, no, this one's high last time, and now this one's high, and we lost our ass both times. I don't get it at all.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just not two variables. Oh man.
Do you guys have access to
Maybe
like
it's
good
like a
numbers for that
legit
stuff?
complex market.
Absolutely not.
Like Sony don't say we've got like. Do you go by MPD
No,
then?
it's
or
actually
what?
it's
Do you look
actually
up GameSpot and try and get the numbers
It's gotten
that way?
You just email your
significantly shittier since it went
Really?
digital. Because
Really?
well, yeah, because it's not like. I mean, Valve touts big numbers, but they're not like, yeah, we're just going to publish all the numbers on everything that we sell.
Right.
And then the publishers, like, they just, they kind of hold on to those digital numbers as well. At least when it was all physical, you could get the NPDs, and they were like kind of in the ballpark, and it sort of made sense. That's before I knew kind of what I was doing. Though.
So do you think they're like intentionally?
Not like I do now. Crap. Whoops. But like, yeah, like I think that's how it went. Sort of back like in the PS2 days, is that the numbers that you had were a lot more reliable, right?
Like, do you think they're intentionally obfuscating
no,
them?
yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's not their position to release those numbers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a lot of people that don't want those numbers getting out,
Yeah.
period, right? So, yeah, it's not really their call.
But even as somebody who's like, has a partnership with a console manufacturer, saying like, we're making this game for your machine, would you not have a relationship there where you can be like, look, this is how many we've sold. This is how many people bought fighting games for this console.
I mean, that stuff is useful for pitching for stuff. Like if you're proposing to like project, like, hey, we think we want to make a fighting game. We think the last one we did in this platform sold this many. With the budget of this, we can easily recoup that, like that kind of way. But it's all firsthand data. It's not like you can go to the source. Or what I used to email my friends and say, hey, what'd your game do on the Wii U or 3DS or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you just cobble together like, okay, here's what a really good like.
You gotta get
Shovel
your
Knight
comps,
did,
man. You gotta get
and
your
then
comps.
Here's what everyone else did on that platform. Which one do you think you're gonna be?
Yeah.
It's awful.
And then you're like, we're gonna be like a Shovel Knight, because you're always like, yeah. And the reality is like,
oh no. Oh,
what?
The reality.
Yeah, I mean the reality. Like if this is where you think things are.
I might burst into
the
tears
reality.
right now.
The reality thing. You said you were as good as you've ever been.
Oh, I've never been better than I am
I guess
right
the reality
now.
Is that just
still
a
be
damning?
I'm committed to a platform of excellence in all things at all times.
Okay.
There you go.
My life is one of ascension.
I don't even know.
I said I was really good. Now I'm even better.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Minute by minute. That's how it happens.
Since we started.
Better now.
It's incredible. Bring that thing up again. The Destiny one is one of my favorites because when we were picking like which ones we were going to show, it was like, oh yeah, Destiny one. Our users would love to watch lessons from the core engine architecture of Destiny. So apparently it's just a fucking like super like top level architecture like coding talk.
Oh yeah.
That
And we're gonna have like all these like
That's gonna be awesome having like just Destiny fans, just like a 14-year-old Destiny fan tuning in, be like, oh my god, and then
when do I get baller horn? When do I get? I still haven't got my dead orbit
I'm
drop.
not sure you did the job system right. Hey.
And then it's just like
This
Bungie's
doesn't
John
seem like it's
Carmack
gonna
up there
scale
talking
previous
game.
generations.
These descriptions though, half the time they'll say like technical prowess suggested
Yes.
or something like that. There'll be something in there that's like code for like listen, filthy casuals need not apply.
Listen, dummies, don't come to this.
I've had that so many
Bring your
times where I've
notes.
gone into ones and it's like, oh, this is something that's like me as like journo person can sit down and appreciate. And then I've gone into other ones and like sat in like the third row and then realized, oh fuck, I'm like so out of my depth, and then I've just had to eat it.
Yeah,
like
you're just stuck in there. You're just trapped.
I don't want to be the asshole
I'm
that
not
stands
gonna
up.
flee.
But like, yeah,
It's rough.
voxels. I know what that word
What
is.
I do is I fake like I get a phone call.
Oh really?
So I'm leaving because the phone call, not because I don't understand the GD thing that's happening. It's because the phone call. It's
You
important.
just mumble business to yourself as you're walking.
No, I-
Business, yeah.
I pick up the phone.
Business.
Here's what I do.
business.
I think he's got a call right now. Actually.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me. Unacceptable. Sorry, I got to take this. That's bullshit, and you know it. Oh my god! I hang up and I throw the phone.
I gave you your ad if you wanted to storm out. We're going to wrap it up there, though, actually, folks. Do you want to pimp your stuff, Massive Chalice?
Yeah, Massive Chalice. So I'm giving a talk Thursday, 5:30 p.m. I don't know the room number offhand, but
Great.
It's on the schedule. Check it out. And then we're going to be out of early access soon and on the Xbox One, probably May, June timeframe.
Awesome.
That's an exclusive.
Oh, really? Xbox One?
No,
and
I
May
meant
June
the,
timeframe.
the May-June timeframe
Okay.
part is an
You're also
exclusive.
going to be avoiding Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Nice.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
Just release it right
given
during
their track
E3 so
record,
nobody
actually.
reviews it.
Yes, good point. What'd you say?
So given their track record, if he's saying June, might be September 1st.
Ooh.
Sick burn.
You,
It is.
Sick burn. It's real talk.
do you not
gonna
do
be
early
animated.
access anymore?
Huh?
Do you not do early access anymore?
I've never done early access.
Really?
Never.
Do you play any other video games except for your own?
There's, well, that implies I play ours,
Okay.
which frankly I'm not comfortable
Generous.
with.
That's generous.
Dave Lang, do you
Yes,
have
sir.
anything to shill while you're here?
Like I said, Chelsea Blasco's giving a talk on IG stuff tomorrow. That'll be fun. If you're at PAX East, we're doing a Killer Instinct panel.
Sweet.
All about Season 2 goodness. You know, how do we bring the rich universe to life, the
Yeah.
tapestry.
Yeah.
So that's
weaving
the rich
weaving
Killer
the
Instinct
tapestry.
lore.
Pretty good.
I see Keats on Twitter that he's just, man, he just loves Aganos. That's a thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Aganos?
I blew
We
it.
just released Aganos.
Aganos?
He's
Some big rock dude. that
it's a golem.
punches guys.
The Rock?
Right? He does
Dwayne The
punch
Rock
guys.
Johnson is in Killer Instinct? It's amazing. All right, let's end on that.
you know you
That's
can-
the lobby this week, folks. Thanks very much for hanging out. Me, oh my, I can't wait for the production team to chop these into VODs that work well. This is going to be fantastic. Thank you so much for everyone for coming on. Alexander Bruce, who's still here. Thank you, sir, for coming on. Brad Muir, Dave Lang, Chris Waters. Great to have you back. Thanks to everyone in the back for putting together this show. We will see you guys next week, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on GameSpot.com. See you then.